case you cannot tell by the quality of this video, I use my phone camera. Honestly, I'm most excited to build a... So hey y'all, so in case you can't tell from the title of the video, I am new to the BookTube community. And there's something that BookTubers do quite often when we're, like, especially as new BookTubers, called BookTube Newbie Tag. And so yeah, let's get right into the questions. The first question is, why did you start this channel? So first off, I started this channel because I honestly just thought it would be fun, and it is, or at least it has been so far. I remember one day I was just scrolling through BookTube and I saw a video and I wanted to do it. And that video became my first ever short. It was literally a spur of the moment decision, and I'm really glad I made that decision because I honestly love it. So what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to the BookTube community? I wouldn't say really fun, but I am more unique because I read a lot of popular books, but in addition to reading those popular books, I am also a Christian. And in my reviews and book wrap-ups, I will have a content section of each book and then like an actual my thoughts section because, well, sometimes the content does affect my thoughts, sometimes it doesn't. Honestly, it depends on the book and the amount of stuff that's in it, and the things that I will include in this section include any cussing, sex, drugs, anything. What are you most excited for your YouTube channel? Honestly, I'm most excited to build a community and just read more books because this has given me more motivation to read more books. I mean, honestly, I haven't read that many this month at least. So why do you love reading? There are multiple things that go into my love for reading. One of them includes the escapism, and the other being how well I could often relate to the characters and what they're going through, because I've gone through a lot of stuff in my life. And I'm sorry about the lighting, guys. A good example of why I love reading is The Infernal Devices. A great example of why I love reading is The Infernal Devices because it is a great form. Reading that book series was a great form of escapism for me, and also I could relate to a lot of the characters and what they go through and how they respond to situations. One of them being Jem Carstairs. Going back to what I said earlier about the content reviews, I love The Infernal Devices. It's one of my favorite series, but it does get a little dark. There's some cussing. What book series got you into reading? So I have always loved reading, and we will get to that later. So some of the series that got me into reading include, but are not limited to, The Magic Tree House, which got me into more fantasy. The Mandy series, I honestly don't remember who that's by, but it's historical fiction about this girl who solves mysteries. And that got me into reading more historical fiction, and it got me into reading mysteries, especially written by Christian authors. And then, this was actually a school read. I do have some notes here, in case you see me looking down. And then there's another series, which I'm sure most of you guys have read. We actually had to read this for school, was The Hunger Games. It got me into reading more young adult / popular books. What would you ask your favorite booktubers? So the first question that I would ask is, how do you find time to read? Because I'm sure most of you have regular jobs / school / a social life. I mean, some of us don't. How do you find the balance between doing all of this, plus BookTube, plus reading, plus everything that is a part of life? And then the second question is, what editing platform do you use, and why / how has it been beneficial to you? Finding an editing platform was at first hard for me. Now I use CapCut. It's pretty great, but I don't think it's the greatest, yeah, it's not amazing. And then, what camera do you use? In case you cannot tell by the quality of this video, I use my phone camera, which is it's not bad, it's not wrong. So if y'all have any suggestions, please let me know. It's not that I can't afford to buy a new phone, because I probably can. So the next question is, What challenges will be the hardest with BookTube? So I did allude to this in the beginning, finding time to read, because between school and church and social stuff and BookTube, I don't have a lot of time, honestly. And I mean, yeah, I'm finding that time. I'm still working on. Anyway, the next question is, when did you start reading? So as I mentioned, I grew up reading. When I was a baby, my parents would read like short story books to me, or like books of books like with children's poetry and stuff. And then up until 3rd grade, I was homeschooled, and whenever we would have a book to read, my mom would have me, like, we would lay in her bed, and my mom would have me read that book out loud to her, or she would read it out loud to me. And honestly, the memories of that, I feel like, spurred my love for reading. And actually, the Plugged In podcast talked a little bit about this, about how building good memories with your kids of like reading can affect how much they read in the future and how much they enjoy reading, which has definitely happened with me. Then I started like really getting into reading about 2nd grade, maybe like 1st, 2nd grade. My dad likes to say when I was 8, I picked up a book and I never stopped and I never put it down, which is definitely true. The 8th question is, or actually the 9th question, sorry. Where do you read? So there are multiple places that I like to read. So I like to read on my couch, right there. Or I will read in my bed. It's very comfortable. I love it. Or I will read at school, because often enough we have time to read. I mean, not recently, because I've been working on a huge project for my AP Computer Science class, but anyway, I normally read at school, bed, couch, also occasionally the car, because yes, I can read in the car without getting car sick. I don't know how. The last and final question is, what kinds of books do you read? So I read a lot of young adult, middle grade, fantasy, and Christian fiction. Like, normally, if it's a combination of all of those, I will love it, especially if it's like romantic-y Christian. I'm referring specifically to Wistress, which is an amazing book. Y'all should read it, by Nadine Brands. And then I will read other stuff too. Like, I have read a couple adult books. I don't love them because smut. Obviously, I love reading, in case you cannot tell. I am an absolute nerd. So thank you all for joining, and please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want, and I will see you soon next time with a new video. Bye.